My name is David Miller. I'm president of Branch 458 of the NELC based out of Oklahoma City. This is a quick message to our members. First and foremost, this video is the first of its kind. If this video seems to be well responded to by our members, we may do this on a continuing basis to get news out to the membership over YouTube. First and foremost, there is an inclement weather event that occurred today. It's December the 5th, 2013. There's snow on the ground currently in Oklahoma City. Other parts of Oklahoma have snow, some have significant amounts of snow, some have ice, some have sleet. In the morning, if you are unable to report to work, contact your supervisor and do not request sick leave. Let them know you can't get to work because of the weather. Try to take pictures of the surrounding area to show what's preventing you from getting to work. Request administrative leave on a leave slip, PS Form 3971. If the admin leave is disapproved, contact your steward and have them look into it. We may be able to get that disapproval overturned depending on the specific circumstances of your office and the regulations of your local memorandum of understanding. If you're unable to perform all of your tasks at work, if there's a safety hazard, you can refuse to do something because if it threatens your life or limb. Examples of that could be operating a vehicle in which the defrost doesn't properly work and you can't see out the windshield. It could be stepping up onto a porch to deliver mail to a house where the steps are covered in ice or the snow is too deep for you to get up there safely, or it can include driving down certain roads that have inclines or declines that are too steep for your vehicle to handle with the ice on the ground. In any event, if you're unable to perform some of your duties, when you return to the office, fill out a form PS 1767. It's a safety hazard report form, and notify management of what the safety hazard is and let them address it that way. If you're unable to deliver some mail, be sure to mark the mail accordingly. Don't write on the mail, but be sure to let them know that any mail being left at your case is because you couldn't safely deliver it. And so far, as of right now in Oklahoma City, there are 52 city carrier assistants employed. 33 are currently in probation, and 8 of those 33 are brand new and have not yet reported to the units. Several offices in Oklahoma City currently don't have any CCAs working in them, and they are frequently having to borrow. I know we're having overtime issues at a lot of our offices, especially those that don't have CCAs. A lot of you that are not on the overtime desire list are having to work repetitive, mandatory overtime, including your non-scheduled days, and some of you even into the darkness. If you don't feel safe delivering mail in the darkness, you can refuse to do so if it directly violates or affects your safety. But you have to be specific on why you're unable to deliver it due to a safety hazard. Either kids playing in the streets, you can't see them. There are hazards in the yard, you can't see it. Especially if there's snow on the ground, you can't see anything if it's dark outside. If that's the case, be sure to fill out a safety hazard report also, PS Form 1767. So far in Oklahoma City for 2013, there have been 124 CCAs hired. Of those 124, 33 are still in probation and 21 have passed probation. The remaining CCAs have been terminated or have resigned. Our retention rate in Oklahoma City is only 23%, so roughly 1 out of 4 to 1 out of 5 are making it through probation. Do whatever you can to help these new guys out because we need the help. Make sure they know how to do their jobs properly. Make sure that they are being properly trained. Make sure they're getting the 3 full days of training. If they're not getting their 3 full days of training, notify your steward. That way it can be addressed that way. In associate offices represented by Branch 458, there have been 10 CCAs hired so far in 2013. Of those 10, 2 are still in probation and 2 have failed probation. In Oklahoma City, close to 50 CCAs were recently converted to full-time regular, and in Chickasha there were 2 CCAs recently converted to full-time regular. For those of you that recently converted, you have 30 calendar days to enroll in your health insurance, and you have 60 calendar days to enroll in your federal employees group life insurance options. Be sure to do that quickly rather than later. If you wait too long, you won't be eligible. The health insurance open season also is right now, and it runs through December the 9th, and it closes at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So for those of you who are thinking about health insurance options, or if you don't currently have the NELC health plan, you should seriously give it consideration and enroll in NELC. I know a lot of you enroll Blue Cross Blue Shield. I can tell you that Blue Cross Blue Shield Standard costs more than NELC does. It offers no additional coverage over NELC except for minor dental coverage, and you can get an NELC plan and an additional dental plan through benefeds.com, and it'll still cost you less per pay period than what the Blue Cross Blue Shield standard does. If you want to go and look at the health plans side by side and do a comparison, you can go to www.opm.gov, choose healthcare, find the comparison tool, and select up to 4 plans at once to view side by side. You can compare premiums, comparisons, and co-pays to see which one best fits you and your family. If you'd like to have some assistance with that, or if you need a computer to do that, contact the Union Hall at 405-789-2220, and we can assist you with that, or set up a time for you to come down here and we can use the computer here at the Union Hall, whatever you need. Grievance activity remains very steady throughout the branch. The number one topic is mandatory overtime. Like I said, with the short staffing, we are incurring a lot of mandatory overtime throughout all of our offices. If you are mandated off your route on your non-scheduled day, before tour or after tour, let your steward know. In some cases it may be proper, but at least give us the opportunity to look at it and check into it. A lot of our non-ODL carriers that are being forced to work mandatory overtime improperly are receiving administrative leave, and in many cases you're being compensated financially for being forced to work when it wasn't proper. At least let your steward know and let us look into it. If it was proper, the stewards will let you know, hey, under the circumstances, in this case, it was proper. Leave draw is also beginning in all branch 458 offices. The latest that the leave draw should begin is December the 20th. It varies depending on your local memorandum of understanding. If you have questions about when it's supposed to start, how it's supposed to be conducted, or how many weeks of leave that you're allowed off, contact the Union Hall or talk to your steward and we'll address that. On the legislative front, right now there are 3 issues that we are battling in Congress. One is the status of S-1486 in the Senate. The second is the status of H.R. 2748 in the House. And the third is continuing budget negotiations from the Budget Committee that could either result in a budget or a continuing resolution to operate the government. We oppose Senate Bill S-1486 for the following reasons. It interferes with our right to collective bargaining. It eliminates Saturday mail delivery. It eliminates door-to-door mail delivery. It degrades our service standards. It removes postal employees from the Federal Employees Health Benefits Plan, and it requires unfair cuts to injured workers who are on workers' compensation. It appears that the 2 sponsors of this bill, Senate Democrat Tom Carper and Senate Republican Tom Coburn, are far off on finding ideal resolutions and solutions to passing this bill through the Senate. So between now and the end of the session, which is just under 10 days from now, we don't expect this bill to gain any traction. H.R. 2748 in the House appears to be dead as of right now because it can't muster enough support from Democrats and Republicans to even get out of subcommittee. We also need to continue to push our representatives to support House Resolution 30. It's a sense of the House resolution to support Saturday mail delivery. There are currently 202 co-sponsors signed on to this resolution. None of Oklahoma's representatives are signed on to this. So if you live in the metropolitan area, James Langford's more than likely your representative. Contact him or whoever your representative may be and let them know you'd like them to support House Resolution 30. As of right now, the Postal Service is operating with a profit financially, but even though we're operating with a profit, we will continue to default due to the pre-funding requirements of the Postal Accountability and Enhancement Act of 2006. It currently requires us to pre-fund with a payment of $5.5 billion a year for future retirees' health benefits. We have now defaulted on 3 consecutive payments of that, so we're $16.5 billion in arrears on that pre-funding mandate. Even though we're operating with a profit financially, that will still report us as a negative, and so the media will still report us as showing a loss. That continued loss that the public sees will continue to damage the brand that the Postal Service offers to our mailers and to the eyes of the public. The NELC is continuing to work with legislators and mailers to put forth a bill that deals with things that we have in common and put those forth in a smaller bill that will not slash jobs or diminish the network, something that is both fair and balanced for all parties, and something that is budget neutral and that both sides of Congress can support. On budget negotiations, on On the far end side, you have Paul Ryan, who is proposing a 5.5% increase in contributions from federal employees towards FERS, our Federal Employees Retirement System. The Obama proposal, on the other hand, calls for a staggered 1.2% increase in contributions by federal employees towards our retirement system. Both plans will be opposed by the NELC because both will result in a pay cut by postal employees. They're continuing to put the nation's budget problems on government employees and continuing to make us give more and more and more when we get nothing in addition in return, and the general public is not being required to make those same contributions. We will be fighting against those increased pension contributions in any bill that comes out. We are also looking for other key issues in a new friendly bill. We will be focusing on healthcare reforms that can do full integration of Medicare and cheaper drugs through Medicare Part D, and providing postal-only plans within the Federal Employees Health Benefit Program with separate pricing for postal employees. It's expected that having a separate postal plan within the Federal Employees Health Benefit Program will result in lower premiums for postal employees with no resulting negative impact on your coverages. Integration of the Medicare programs will result in an elimination of the unfunded liability that has resulted from the pre-funding requirement, and that would eliminate the need for the pre-funding in its entirety. Other items that will be focused on in a narrowed bill include a refund of all pension surpluses, rate-making fairness, new product flexibility like shipping beer and wine, and network preservation that we currently have now. As of now, it appears that the idea of removing postal employees from the Federal Employees Health Benefits Plan appears to be dead. However, that could change on a moment's notice. December the 12th, next Thursday, is the branch meeting. Please make plans to attend that meeting. There will be refreshments provided before the meeting. The meeting begins at 7:30, usually lasts about an hour. I'll leave this video with Boomer Sooner. Go Sooners.